Hello, my name is Barry. I'm a New York State licensed psychotherapist, and today I'll be talking about a topic that is of great concern to some people and of no concern to others, which is the process of making a choice. Now, for some people, choosing is a piece of cake. You're given, no pun intended, but there are several different options. The person takes a look and within a few seconds decides, and that's that. Other people are absolutely stymied. They take a look, they start analyzing the pros and cons of each. They just can't make up their mind. How do you decide? This one looks good, but this one looks good, but. Sometimes it's a conscious process. Sometimes it's not. See, for some people, they analyze everything. And this analysis can lead to paralysis. That's a catchy phrase, analysis paralysis. Anyway, when one is so much into analyzing things, it's really hard to decide because nothing is pure. There's always a weight, a judgment. There's a positive, there's a negative. So how do you decide? Well, people who are easy deciders, who make choices very simply, just get in touch with their gut. They don't have to think. It doesn't go into their cognitive function. It's strictly a gut decision. Their brain instantly weighs all the options, the pros and cons. It's like a quick brain. Gives all the information down to the gut brain, which is practically instantaneous. There are thoughts that, hypotheses I should say, that the communication between the gut brain and the head brain actually operates faster than the speed of light. So that's pretty damn fast, particularly considering it's not a very long distance. So the information goes to the gut brain says, yeah, I like this one, and you decide. On the other hand, people who are not analyzers, still, they really can get stuck. Gee, I really like this color. But I really like this one too. Oh, I would really see myself living in both homes. How do I decide? I like this one, I like this one. It's not so much a choice of trying to figure out which is better than the other, because that's much more cognitive and analytical, and eventually one can come to a decision. Yeah, this has more merits, this other one has more demerits. But when you're talking about preference and you like both, just in a different way, how do you decide which one to go with? No. That's where a lot of people get hung up. Personally, I have some Gemini in my chart. Gemini is the sign of indecisiveness. I'm not saying all Geminis are indecisive, but they do have difficulty making choices on certain particular subjects. I'm not going to get into astrology here. But for me, because I have certain houses, as they call it in astrology, I'm not an astrologer. I really don't know too much. But Gemini affects me. So I have no problems making big decisions. How to invest $10,000? Boom, boom, I decide. Do I want yellow or do I want green? As far as a little plastic box I'm buying, oh God, well, I like the green, but I also like the yellow. I don't like the red. All right, so that's easy. But then I'm stuck with yellow and green. And I can look at them for like 5 or 10 minutes. and I can't make up my mind because it's not really important. And how do I decide? So usually what I do is I just end up taking one and what the hell, because it's not really important. But for a lot of people, they get stuck not just on the little things like I do, but on the big things. Oh my God, this is $10,000. How do I know this is the right choice? How do I know it's the best choice? So, because I don't tend to have those big problems, let me just tell you how I help people who do. It's all about really getting out of your head, out of the analytical mode, which, if you're analytically deciding, let's say between two health insurance plans, two investment options, yeah, cognitive analysis is a very good idea. You have to be thorough, you have to know everything. That's not indecisiveness, that's being thorough. Indecisiveness is, okay, this car gets 50 miles per gallon, this car gets 48 miles per gallon. 48 miles per gallon isn't as good, but I like the seats better. On the other hand, drive yourself nuts. So, let's go with people who are not stuck on thinking too much, but rather can't decide on the basis of what feels best. So for that, you have to go down into your gut. It's generally in the region of the solar plexus, which is just a little bit below the belly button, which is why it's called the gut feeling. But it's in the third chakra, because that has to do with relation between you and the world. So what one would do is really go down into that aspect and connect with the third chakra. You can do it through reflection, through meditation, or just sort of sitting and concentrating and asking yourself, okay, what's going on? Now, obviously, this technique works when you have time to sit down and work it through. But once you get used to it, you can do it much more quickly in real life situations rather than waiting till you can sit down and be quiet, which, you're at a store, you have to choose between two refrigerators. You're not going to say, oh, I'm going to sit down in the corner for 20 minutes and close my eyes and see what my gut says. No, that doesn't work. So, but it's a good way to start. So you sit down, go down into your third chakra and ask yourself, what am I really feeling? What is my experience when I look at this choice? Does it make me happy? Does it make me sad? Do I have questions? Do I feel a little bit uncomfortable? Does something just bother me about it? Whereas this other one, is it a sense of smoothness? Is it warmth? Is it light? Do I have no qualms, no anxiety when I look at it? That's one way. Another way is simply going and asking your higher self, okay, which of these is better for me? And you'd have to go into the crown chakra up here. And this is not for everybody, of course, but it's also called asking your conscience, because that can decide. It's really connecting with your intuition, which is down in the second chakra region. It's not in a chakra, but connecting with intuition and asking yourself, what does my intuition say? Intuition frequently is a channel for communication from one's higher self. Okay, very briefly, one's higher self is the part of the soul that is not incarnate in the body, which I like to term the spirit, but that's just my nomenclature. You can say it's checking directly in with the soul. These are all semantics. But basically, it's the part of yourself that doesn't die. It's always living and growing. When you cease an incarnation, the part of yourself that really learns significant experiences goes to that higher self. But let's not get into that subject. I can talk for hours about what happens after you die. If you want to hear, write me and I'll be glad to tell you my perspective. So back to the subject here. Connect with your intuition. See what your intuition has to say. And then listen to it. So to some, there's really a couple different ways you can connect with your gut and see what your gut feeling says. Does it more weighing on one choice than the other? Or connect with your intuition and see what that has to say. And either you're actually getting the info from your intuition, or it's guidance from your higher self. Or, I forgot to say, sometimes, if it's important, your guides will have an opinion on it too. They generally communicate through the subconscious, and the subconscious communicates through intuition. These are a variety of ways of dealing with the process of choice. If you have more questions, please, I'd be glad to field them. If you want a related topic for me to talk on, just let me know, and I'll do my best to oblige. So, just to recap, my name is Barry Naroff. I'm a professional spiritual intuitive. I do readings. All I'd like to know is your first name and almost nothing else. And readings are by a donational basis because it's a gift, so I can't fix a fee on it. I haven't suggested, but it's up to you. Psychotherapy, individual psychotherapy, that's the other side of me, the licensed clinician. And that's either individuals or couples. I can do families, haven't in a long time. And for that, I do take insurance as long as the deductible has been met and it's out of network. If you want to contact me, I have a webpage where you can read up more about me under Birthright Therapy, or feel free to write me direct. My email is barry@birthrighttherapy.com, or just write in the comment section under this video and be glad to get back to you. So if you like what you're hearing, please do subscribe. And there's a little bell icon next to the subscribe. If you click that, you'll be notified when postings come up. So thank you very much, and until the next time.